Okay, we're gonna start our Board of Assessors Zoom meeting. It is 3:02 p.m. Today is February 9th, 2021, and we're going to take roll call. Donna Burton, chair here.
Michael Saltzman, member here.
Elsie Bourne, assessors.
Okay. All present. Can we have a motion to accept the agenda for today?
I'll make a motion to accept that. Yes.
Okay, and we'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Chelsea, we'll turn this over to you.
Alrighty. So I emailed the documents to you, I believe yesterday. The first order of business would be the motor vehicles commitment 2021-01. And then 2020, it says 06, it's an error, it's 2020-07, signed by the board. I actually received those in the assessor's office today. So those were signed. For 2021-01, we have a motor vehicle excise totaling 704,116.50. That was signed by the board for the commitment, and then the warrant also would be the same amount. And then for the 2020-07, the totaling is 4,772.77. That was signed by the board, the warrant and commitment. We also have a rollback tax that was missed for FY 2021 for map 32. Parcel 11, map 32 in the amount of 8,771.25. That was signed by the board. Then with the boat excise, we did do that the last two meetings ago. However, the dates were incorrect, so we had to recommit and warrant the boat excise tax. So that was also signed by the board for the warrant and commitment for the fiscal year 2021.
Sorry, calendar year 2020.
Sorry, fiscal year 2020. I apologize.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So that amount stayed the same. The only thing that changed was the dates for the issue dates.
Okay.
Did you want me to say the amounts anyway?
No, it's all right.
Okay. All right. So that was for board to sign the following. Those were signed. But next will be the motor vehicle abatements for December and January of 2021. There was an error in Vadar with pulling over the big file for the for 2021-01 filing, and when they pulled it over, we had to get in touch with Vadar again because it wiped out all the abatements. So we had to reissue in the system, do them over, and then reissue the certificates. So the first one, we do have one for 2019. The abatement date is 2/1/2020. Unfortunately, we did do these already, but they had to go back into the system and redo them again because it was wiped out. That total was 96.35, and that needs to be signed by the board.
Okay.
Okay.
For fiscal year 2020, there was a total of 11. Oh, they say right there. 11 abatements, the totaling of 745.87. That will be signed by the board. And that would be for new business for the motor vehicles. Next is we're going to get into the number of real estate and personal property applications received by the town. We have 16 physical applications with 12 owners. Some applications have multiple parcels on them and some are the same owners. with the application. I don't know if you wanted to talk more about that, or just that we just have them, we entered them in our system, and then next meeting, we're gonna go over if they were granted or denied.
Okay,
Yeah, at this point, there's really not much to talk about with them because I haven't gone out to inspect anything. So right now, we don't need to get into specifics, but that's how many we have to deal with. That's a very reasonable number, honestly. So shouldn't be too hard to get them ready for the next meeting.
okay.
And then another new business is we received a late entry chapter land application for renewal of a 61A. The chapter land specialist had asked us to put this in the board meeting for approval. It was received on the February 1st. However, they don't have all of the account information they need to provide for their 2020 tax returns. It states that their accountant has not completed their data information for the town, and they really just need,
Are they already in? Is it a renewal?
yes.
Okay. All right.
And they seem
And-
to have, based on this scan, supplied some handwritten receipts that indicate that they will have some, that they did have enough in sales to qualify, but they're looking for something a little more official from their accountant, it sounds
Yeah.
like. So, yeah, I would have no trouble with approving this at this point.
Okay,
This is a fiscal 22 application.
yes.
So yeah, even if we denied it, they'd be able to apply for an abatement next year when the time came. So unless something falls through and these receipts turn out to be fake, I don't have a problem with approving them at this point.
No, I don't either. I think they've, it's tough with the COVID and everything, so,
Exactly.
yeah.
The last business that I have physical paperwork for is bill for the Worcester County Assessing Association. Due to, I need to know who is going to actually be part of this, as you and Michael and Donna are already on it. I need to know the like.
Yeah, I know. We always pay for 3 members and I don't know what's going on with Walter, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we might want to reach out and see if he's still interested in actually being a part of this.
Well, this is the 3rd meeting. Usually I'll probably have to talk with the town administrator, because usually if you miss 3 meetings or, after 3 meetings, you're supposed to be off the board. And
Right.
he does this every year with us, so I'll talk to the town administrator and see what they want to do.
But we always pay for 3 members regardless, because
Yeah.
there's always gonna be 3 members of the board?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
We can hold off on sending the names in until we resolve.
Well, we
who the
can put
third
our
name's gonna
name and
be.
emails on it, but as far as the 3rd one, you can put his name, but he don't have a town email, so you don't need to supply that.
okay. That is what I have on the agenda for other business. So,
Okay. Okay, so, all right, the other thing that, under new business or new business, we'd like to talk about, the issue that we're having with new owners.
Mhm.
Michael, I know you were brought up to speed with that, right? With the
Yes.
care of lines. And I think
Mhm.
some of the other communities are taking and putting them as current owners so that when you do the bridge commitment over to the collector, that you don't have to take and do that step in vision to make future owners current.
Right.
unless
Now that's,
the last deed of the month, and then you would have to.
Mhm. Right. Now that is a decision that we have traditionally left up to treasure collectors to make because it can negatively affect them.
Right,
Because what happens is if we put the owners on as current immediately, so that they're the new owners, they receive the bills the next time bills go out, then we are technically not billing the right people if the sale came in after January 1st. And so if a property wound up going to tax title for that year, we wouldn't be able to perfect the tax title.
right,
Like I say, that's a decision we like to leave up to the treasurer collector because some are going to be worried about that and some are going to say, I don't care. I'd rather have it be easy, especially with the issues that we're having with the post office not forwarding things
No, they're
or just
forwarding-
returning things.
they're
Yeah,
forwarding-
exactly.
they're forwarding a
Um,
bill all the way out to like Texas,
Right,
rather than to the street address, which is on the bill. And then,
right. And so yeah, exactly. They're not reading the care of lines. So if Sarah really would rather us do it that way, even knowing the risks, we can do it. It still wouldn't update the VADAR records immediately.
no,
So when we make a change in vision, that change goes through the next time we print bills. So
Right.
either the preliminary or the actuals. But it would at least take care of the problem with the post office.
hopefully, yeah,
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully we get a right address off the deed. That's the only
Yeah.
thing that could still be a problem.
yeah, because that's,
Um,
the other thing that the treasurer is concerned about too is, the new ownership, a new buyer, and their deed reference showing up.
right.
That's her concern.
Yep.
Because, if it
So,
happens in early July and that sale didn't get over for the final commitment,
yep.
it just read that care of. It's not going out properly.
Right. So, and like I say, if she would prefer to make sure the mailings are correct rather than the possibility of a tax title issue coming up, that would be the solution. It's not technically correct, but it gets the bill into the right hands to get it paid.
Right,
So you're lessening the chances of it winding up in tax title if you think of it that way.
correct.
So yeah, if she would rather we do that, we can make that our policy. We can from now on not even use the future owner tag, and it'll just update immediately. So whenever we do bills, it'll be the latest current owners,
Well,
whoever that may be.
we were supposed to check out and see if other communities do that. And if so, how has it been working out? Has it been causing any problems? Do you want to?
I know that some of our communities do that.
Mhm.
Ashby actually, I believe, has been doing that for a long time, and it very rarely would cause problems because that's a rare situation where you wind up, especially in that 1 year, needing to go to tax title.
Right.
So, yeah, I'd say it's a low risk. It is a risk. It's something that she needs to be aware of before she makes that call.
Right.
But we've definitely done it elsewhere and are doing it elsewhere, and it's working out fine. I know Harold has not had any problem with that in other communities,
So do you
allowing
think
us to
maybe
go
we
ahead and
should?
do that.
Do you think maybe we should try it and see, and then relook at it after, say, after July or something, when that commitment goes out?
Yeah, I
You
mean, we can absolutely do it. That's not a problem. As long as everyone's on board, as long as Sarah's
Well-
on board and we're on board,
The
I think
the treasurer's the one who kind of suggested that we,
Right. I figured that was the case.
yeah.
So yeah,
of all
we can
these
definitely do
errors.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because,
no, I understand the problem because the post office is getting worse and worse about those things. So
Yep.
I know it's not going to be getting better anytime soon. So yeah, we can definitely do that.
okay, and then the only problem we could potentially run into is if somebody purchase a house and doesn't change their address. You know,
Yeah,
and it goes
yeah,
to the old residence, you know.
yeah. Every once in a while, you get a deed in where they don't give you a good address in the deed, and
Mm.
then yeah, there's nothing we can do to fix that until we hear from the new owner, and then we can get them to give us a change of address form and update everything and get it accurate. But that's a much more rare case. Usually the address is good, or at least it forwards, and then the new owners can call us up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would still be smoother than it has been.
So I would like to make a motion that, Chelsea, we do that. We make the future owners or anybody who comes in as a current owner on a deed. We can revisit it like after maybe a second meeting or something in July, you know, and just take a look at it and see how it's working out. Maybe it might lessen a lot of the bills that come back to us for remailing,
Mhm.
and that would help the impact on you.
Okay. With changing this, is it still going to affect Sarah getting the correct information? Or is it
No,
still gonna?
she'll have the correct information on her side. If
Oh.
you, if and when you make the current own, you know, someone who just purchased a house today,
Mm.
the current owner, when she gets the commitment in July 1,
Mhm.
you're not making anybody a future owner. They're already gonna have that name, the deed reference, everything on the bill.
Yep.
Okay.
It won't update anything in the interim
Well, yeah,
period, so it
because
won't be
it's
instantaneous.
prelim. Yeah,
But every time we do bills, she'll get the latest owners, and they'll be current, and there won't be any care of issues
right.
in there anymore.
Okay.
I think that would be a good thing to do. Try it and see.
So
And I think
just,
that's the best we can do, because I don't think we can be in there editing in Vadar as we're getting new deeds in. I think that's
We don't have that active module because we don't work in Vadar, we work in Vision.
right.
just in layman's terms, when I'm doing a deed, I get a deed that has been registered at the Registry of Deeds. It has the person who sells it and the person who gets it. When I'm entering it into my system, I'm always clicking current owner, and it's going to be the person who just bought the land or
Correct.
or whatever. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Just basically, you just have to not check that future owner box that I showed you this afternoon, and it'll go in the way we want it.
All right, perfect. Okay.
Okay.
And then you just said a motion to approve that.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank
And
you
I'd
so
second that.
Okay, we're all in favor?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. And I think the last final one, which I had a discussion with Chelsea about this kind of last minute before we left town hall, was regarding the motor vehicle abatements. If we have an abatement that's abated in its entirety,
Mhm.
and the person, say, receives a bill, we'll say on the third or fourth commitment, which could be March or April, but yet they don't do the abatement until December. What happens is they accrue charges, and they could end up being marked.
Mhm.
And all
Right.
of those charges and everything goes over to the treasurer collector So Chelsea is doing the steps by going into Vadar, issuing the abatement on the tax,
Mhm.
but she's not wiping out the fees.
Okay,
I don't know if Vadar has a check mark where, you know, if she's doing it and it will automatically wipe out fees. But I know she goes into K2 and she'll, you know, abate it there if they've gone into that warrant stage or demand and marked at the registry. I know she goes in there and clears it there. But the problem that the treasurer is seeing that there's fees left over in Vadar after a motor vehicle has been abated in its entirety. We're really technically not supposed to do an abatement until they pay the bill. But lots of people, as you know, they don't, because they figure, I sold my vehicle, I junked it, I traded it, why should I pay this? So they don't, and it accrues the fees. So we're trying to figure out how we can eliminate those fees. And my suggestion would be is, I know there's been a lot of problems, but maybe we don't do like, you know, post the abatement right away. You know what I'm saying? Once you enter it into Vadar, you take it to us, we approve them. But they shouldn't be posted until after the board approves.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so that way, if there is something, maybe we can check them
Okay,
somehow.
so for future ongoing, instead of giving you the totals amount, you want to go over the abatements before I post them.
Yes, just for a little bit till we get used to it and make sure that all the steps are being done properly. So let's try that for at least what, a month or two,
Okay,
and see how that works out. Maybe I can view them or something before you go ahead and post.
okay.
now, do
With that-
we have the ability to waive those fees, or is that something that Sarah has to do?
Well, technically, if it's being abated in its entirety, those fees can come off, yes.
Okay,
We have the ability to wipe them out.
and we have the actual ability, we don't have to
Well,
go
see,
over
I
there and
don't
ask
know
them.
about Vadar process. I don't know how it's done in Vadar, but I know that if you go into Kelly and Ryan, which is our
Mhm.
deputy collector, and we do the abatement there, if we abate it in full, it automatically wipes out the fees. But Sarah
Okay.
won't get that information.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know how Vadar works either, but I know in other systems, it's something that the treasure collector has to go in and remove because the assessors don't have that ability.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're figuring out who needs to do what is definitely a good idea. If nothing else, we would be able to produce a report to Sarah to say, you should wipe the fees off of these abatements because they're abated in full,
Well, you would
if it's
think
not
that,
something we can make the change.
yeah, you would think though that once they're posted, that, you know, you give that paper over to her, then, you know, she would run through it, but apparently she pulls a report and then goes through it.
Okay,
So I just want to try to eliminate some, I guess, issues.
No, listen, I'm not offended. Need to be able to do my job correctly, so.
And like I said, it's not anything you're not doing. It's just
you-
stuff that we're learning about now, so.
Do you want me to bring over to your attention abatements once I get them and do
Well,
them? Or do you
if
want me to do
done
it like,
if it's done in its entirety, when you're in Vadar, we need to look at it first before you post them, okay?
so only, you really only want me not to post anything unless they are abatements in full?
No,
abatements in full you want to look at,
Right,
not all of them.
not all of them. I mean,
right.
you know, the simple stuff, if they don't have any fees on them, if they're not late and gone to the being marked, then we're okay. But if they go to that stage where they're being marked at the registry of motor vehicles, we need to see how it's in both radar, you know, on the treasurer's side, on your side,
Mhm.
and see if they're, how we can do that abatement to get it all the way down, including those fees.
And in the case of partial abatements, we don't have to worry about it because they still have to pay those fees.
Correct.
Okay,
Okay, want to try that too for about a month or so, and then we'll revisit it?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other? Trying to make our staff happy.
No.
Oh,
Always a good thing.
I do have one more thing. I was contacted by Marshall Dennis. And this has to do with vision. You know how we updated it so that certain people would not show their names and address on?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess Marshall went to go and look at somebody who's in chapter, and there was nothing showing up. No acreage, no
Okay.
ownership name, although he did not give me a property, but he was just concerned that nothing was showing up, you know? So I told him, you know, because of certain things that the town clerk can block, she sent that data to you, and therefore you block certain things so that they wouldn't be seen. But we didn't know that
Right.
it
Yeah. We
wiped
blocked.
out acreage.
It shouldn't have. Only thing that should have been suppressed would have been the owner names.
Right, but it
So
wasn't.
that's
A
something
lot
I would
more
need.
data was being suppressed. I've even noticed it too
Yeah.
when I've gone in and looked at some, trying to get some acreage and whatever. I couldn't look at it on the card that cartographic provides, you know.
Okay.
But if I went on some other data, then I could see it, but it's suppressing off
Okay.
of the main.
Well, one thing is David just finished uploading to CAI PDF copies of our property cards out of Vision
Okay,
that are going to be linked to the maps. So there will be a printout of the actual property card for people to look at. So that should have that information. It's not live yet. I know he sent it up today, I believe. So it'll probably be coming up shortly. So that's one thing. But if you have the parcel ID or anything that you can give me, I can take a look in Vision and see what might be going wrong. And if it's widespread, it might be something I can get CAI to take a look at and see if there's something wrong with our data upload that we do.
yeah. Because what was it? I was looking at somebody with some large parcel of land, and it was saying error on it. And you know, I didn't even think to write it down, so stupid me. But I will get that information over to you. I'll email Marshall and see who he was looking at, and then
Sure.
send it to you. Okay.
Yeah, because I have seen, yeah, now I look at it, I'm looking at a property card and I am seeing an error there. So I'm only seeing it in the land area in acres on the CAI property card. So let me take a look at the assessment data and see. Yeah, so the land area is in there. So I will check and see. It's on the assessment tab,
Yep,
the second tab, but that first tab with the CAI property card, yeah, that's showing an error. So I will reach out to CAI and see if that's something they know how to fix quickly, because they should be able to fix that.
okay. 'Cause
That's
I
probably
didn't
just
know if it had something to do with blocking certain owner names.
no,
Oh,
it's even, I just looked at my own parcel. So
Okay.
it's even on, and it's not even a large parcel thing, because mine's not even a full acre. So it's just that field is not coming over properly into the CAI property card. So that's something I can definitely follow up on.
Okay, all right, thank you. And
Sure.
I believe that's about it with all the concerns from department people so far.
Excellent.
Okay. So I'll
So
take,
yeah, if anyone in the meantime calls in and is wondering about that, just direct them to the assessment tab and they'll be able to find the acreage there.
okay,
And I will work on getting that other thing fixed.
okay. All right, thank you. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
Okay, it's 3:33 PM.
I
Have a
just-
good night.
We didn't go over.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute, what?
We didn't go over the next meeting.
Oh,
Oh,
My apologies. I have March 9th, 2021
okay.
at 3 PM via Zoom.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
that's great.
My apologies.
That's all right. Okay, official Zoom adjournment at 3:34.
Sounds good.
Okay,
All right.
have a good night.
All right. See
you.
you guys tomorrow.
Thanks. You too. Stay warm.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.